let's dive into a powerful tool that has the potential to transform how you and your children manage anxiety. It's called the even if statement, and you're going to see how it works in this video. But in order to truly overcome anxiety and actually use this tool, you need to understand the cognitive behavioral view of anxiety. And there's something else really important you need to keep in mind, but I'll talk about this a little later. So, have you heard of cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT? It's widely recognized as the gold standard therapy in treating anxiety for both kids and adults. And it's based on the fact that our thoughts, behaviors, and physical feelings all work together to form how we feel. For example, if you've attended my masterclass on separation anxiety, you've probably heard me talk about the noise at the window. The idea is that you can change how you feel about a situation just by changing one part of the triangle. Like changing what you think about something will influence how you feel about it. This mindset has been transformative for millions of people struggling with anxiety. And it's not all that we're talking about here, so stay with me. Let's take a common fear like public speaking, for example. It's something many of us struggle with, adults and children alike, and yeah, even me too. So imagine you're in front of a group of people and you're thinking, what if I mess up? People will think I'm stupid. You have that thought and your hands get sweaty, your throat gets dry, maybe you get a little shaky. And so maybe you avoid going on stage or you forget what to say when you're up there. Each of these things contributes to your level of anxiety. So if you follow CBT, you try coming up with different thoughts, more calm thoughts, to help you get through it and reduce your anxiety. Like instead, you tell yourself, maybe no one will even notice if I mess up. It's kind of comforting, right? But while that thought might help you feel less anxious, it also might not, because sometimes it's hard to just think the opposite of what your anxiety is telling you. If you're worried that others might notice all your mistakes, it's hard to just convince yourself that they won't. It's the same for kids who feel anxious. So you might be wondering, is there another solution? Is there another way to form more helpful thoughts that could genuinely transform our feelings? This is where the magic of even if statements comes into play. These statements authentically acknowledge our worries while also incorporating elements of problem solving and planning ahead. Let me explain what this means. Even if statements follow this formula. Even if that bad thing happens, I can cope with it like this. So for a fear of public speaking, an even if statement might sound like, even if I mess up, I can take a deep breath and keep going. Or even if someone thinks I'm stupid, I can tell myself I've worked very hard to be here and I know this will be helpful to someone. This is a simple shift in thinking, but it can make a huge difference. Instead of trying to convince ourselves that our fears won't come true, we accept them and plan for how we'll handle them if they do. The beauty of these statements is that they don't deny the existence of our fears. They don't ask us to pretend that everything is fine when it's not. Instead, they allow us to face our fears head on, acknowledging them for what they are. But it doesn't stop there. Even if statements also empower us to take action, to plan for how we'll cope if our fears do come true. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds great, but how do I teach this to my kids? Well, first, if you're finding this video helpful so far, go ahead and tap that like button. I really appreciate it because it lets me know what kind of content you all are interested in, and it helps spread it to more families who need it. So thank you for that. Now, this is how you teach this to kids. Tell them that sometimes what we're thinking or expecting to happen affects how we feel. And then give them an example they can relate to. Like, if you were a new kid at school, you might be thinking, what if no one wants to play with me at recess? And then you'd probably feel a little nervous or scared. There's this thing I just learned about called even if statements, and I think it could help you when you're feeling nervous or scared about something. Then try to help your kids generate some examples. Ask them what they could do if that scary thing happens. Like, even if I get scared in the dark, I can turn on my nightlight and feel safe. Or even if I don't know all the answers in the test, I can take a deep breath and answer the questions I know first. Sometimes it's helpful to actually role play situations and practice using them. Practicing when kids are calm will help them learn to use a skill better when they're actually in the moment. You can also write the statements down on a note card or in a phone or a tablet. You can even use a voice memo so they can be easily accessible. And also, here's an important thing to keep in mind. Let them see you practice it too. Kids learn a lot more from what we do and how we behave than just from telling them how to do something or how to behave. So try doing it out loud in front of your kids for something you're dealing with. Like, even if I'm late to work, I can check in with my coworker about what I missed. And remember, it's perfectly okay if it doesn't fall into place the first time. It's a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice to get better. Start small with a situation that causes a little bit of anxiety and work your way up. But also, know that this is just one tool. There are 3 essential ideas all parents need to help a child overcome anxiety. And this is what I talk about in this video. It goes over a specific plan on what parents can do, and the great thing is that that plan and strategies in that video don't require your kids to do anything different. It's all about what you have control over and what you can do as their parent. And remember, put your relationships first. See you in the next video.